right, Patrick Royce joins us every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm Mackie and Jay. You can also find Royce Unchained on Mondays. What's on your mind on this Friday, Patrick?
Well, I just took a last bag of garbage out to put it in the grocery on the garbage bin there at the end of the driveway, and I'm thinking, this is my first. I think I was in Florida for 6 winters. About this time of year, we'd leave after Christmas, stay 3 months. And I was thinking how much I love this place because it's 22 below this morning, and you'll run into somebody and say, it's 22 below this morning. You want to go to lunch? It's unbelievable. We just function. It's incredible, and it's like that. We just don't all, cower down in some corner with a space heater on us or something. It's incredible.
Yeah, you'd be in Florida right now if you hadn't sold the condo.
If I hadn't sold, right. Yesterday, Phil, the low in Fort Myers was only 86 degrees higher than the low in Minnesota. So they had a low of 64 and a high of 80 or something. So. But you know what? I looked it up. We had 3% better air quality control than they did. Air quality than they did. So we had that on our side.
This is a discussion.
No snakes are out in this weather today.
This is a Pacific Northwest discussion always, or a debate where it's like, it gets really rainy and gray, but it might get down to 38 degrees, but it's rainy and gray. But in the Twin Cities, it can get down to minus 22 and the sun is shining. Would you rather it be minus 22 but sunshine, or would you rather it be gray?
I'd probably rather have the umbrella and take my chances. Yes, but plus you don't shovel rain. That's I think I did this. My sidewalk is 10 feet long, so it's not like a big deal. But I had to scrape her off 3 times yesterday. It kept stopping, so you'd go out and do something, then it'd snow again, another half an inch.
I don't shovel that then. Once a day.
Yeah, but once it gets stuck on there and turns into ice, then it's hard work.
Then you're screwed.
Then Judd just stays home.
Yeah, exactly. Then I stay inside.
So I got a guy who plows my driveway, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked out there yesterday, and there's an old guy with a snowblower cleaning out my driveway. I don't know who it is. I don't know if my guy hired him so he didn't have to drive over here, or if it's a good Samaritan from the neighborhood.
Samaritan.
There's a guy of people. But I'm not going to go out there and challenge him.
Sounds like a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. That's a Curb episode.
It could be. He's just in the wrong driveway, that he's
Why is he in the driveway? What's he in that driveway? What's he doing out there?
It's the love.
If he wants to snow blow my driveway, I am not going to go out and argue with him. That's for sure. So.
I have found that people who embrace snowblowers love to snowblow, so I don't stop them. They go up and down our sidewalk, Pat, and they're just snow blowing everything, and I'm like, that's my sidewalk. That's great.
I think the new ones are better, but about 20 years ago, if you were introduced to someone who was a big snowblower, he generally was missing at least one digit.
Yeah, that's why I won't snowblow.
So the curb,
go in there, unclog them with their hands.
See, the curb plot here would be that you notice that guy, Good Samaritan neighbor, is snowblowing like 8 driveways in a row, skips yours, and then goes to the next one.
That would be
and then you confront him. Why didn't you? You didn't pay for it. Did the other people pay for it?
Oh, very good. That would be terrific. Yeah, that would be.
And he's missing a finger at least. He's got to be missing a finger.
Hey, I got a good. While we're on it, I got a good movie recommendation for you. It just popped up on Amazon. The Tender Bar. It's a memoir of a guy who was briefly at the New York Times, Jay O'Rourke or something. And Ben Affleck, who I'm not the biggest fan of, plays the Uncle Charlie bartender. And it's back in, it's 1980s bar in suburban Queens or someplace. And pretty damn good.
All right. Good. What's it called? The Tender?
The Tender Bar. I think
Bar.
It's a memoir. It's a book, and George Clooney directed it. It's pretty dang good.
Oh, Clooney directing, Affleck starring. All right, man.
A lot of good-looking men
It's
right
funny
there.
you see an Affleck now as the kind of chubby, old uncle who's got the great lines, though. Have you seen it, Declan?
I haven't, but I love Affleck.
Okay.
I'm still Team Ben Affleck, despite what my talk might say down the hall. I'm Team Ben Affleck.
They're anti-Ben Affleck down there?
Well, he had a bad breakup with Jennifer Gardner, his wife. He kind of blamed his alcoholism on her, which, don't get me wrong, was a bad thing to say and a bad assessment. But Ben Affleck's kind of in the bad category. I wouldn't say he's canceled. There's not a lot of fans of Ben Affleck right now.
Marriage could drive you to drink.
Yes.
I'm not going to crap on him for that.
Although some of us earlier in our lives had already driven there when, So
I think Jennifer Garner just
made the trip.
It would be annoying with Jennifer Garner just walking around the house all day, just promoting Capital One in your face. Like, I get it, honey. Okay,
yeah,
I
What's
get
in
it.
your wallet? Shut up.
Who else did he have? He was never one of Jennifer Aniston's guys, was he?
He was Jennifer Lopez.
Lopez.
Yeah, he's with Jennifer
They're
Lopez.
He's back with J-Lo.
After J-Lo, did her and A-Rod ever get married?
No, they didn't get married. They were together for like 2 or 3 years, and then I think he snuck into the DMs of some Instagram.
All those steroids, who knows, man? What who knows with A-Rod? I'm just guessing there. I know.
Pat, you got to give us. I missed this because I think you sent this out at like 5 a.m. or something yesterday.
Yes, I was up early yesterday tweeting.
Give us your. We've been going over Judd's quarterback replacement lists, and Declan's got one next week. But you a theory.
2 years ago, Baker Mayfield, the Cleveland fans all wanted the Browns to sign him to a 5-year extension for $200 million. Right? He had a pretty good year. They had a good year. This year, he was terrible. He supposedly has a damaged left shoulder that's being operated on. Of course, that isn't the one he threw with. And he's got a hard time. Someone would have to get a hold of him and get him to throw from out of the pocket much more often because he gets half his passes knocked down. But if I could get rid of Cousins and get a 2nd-round draft choice from Cleveland, because that's damn near a 1st-round draft choice, right? Because they're going to be drafted in the top whatever. And they're in the top 10. You're not going to get a 1st-rounder from them. He's only got 1 year left. I looked it up. We talked about it the other day. Making a little less than 19. Give him a shot. Trade Cousins for him. Stefanski'd take Cousins in a heartbeat because he's got to win next year else he's gone. And he'd take him. You get a 2nd-rounder. You get out from under Cousins. Everybody's happy.
So Cousins for a 2nd-rounder and Baker Mayfield. Okay.
And you don't sign Mayfield until if he goes out and has a great year, then you can negotiate with him. If not, it's time to move on.
I would say in order of interest of the 3 things here, number 1 would be getting out from underneath Kirk's contract. Number 2 would be the 2nd-round pick, and then Baker would be 3rd on my list of interest.
Somebody who can play next to you. Can see you need. Hey, no matter what they're saying, you bring in a new coach. There's no pressure to win.
Mm-hmm.
There's no pressure to win, right?
Correct.
So Cleveland's got pressure to win. You got a coach next year who can find out if this guy can play or not. He's a number 1 overall pick. There's got to be something there, and he's had his moments. And I think one of his problems is he's got people expect more because they see all the ads, and he was such a great self-promoter and everything. But I don't know. Next year there's about 5 of these guys are not going to bring back. They're going to go get big cap money. They're not going to try to win next year. Give him a shot.
And Pat, the Browns line, which when it's complete is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Run game's good. That sets up as well for Kirk as you could possibly, if you're going to plug him into a system with the right people in front of him, the Browns are about as good as you're possibly going to get for Kirk.
And they are mad at everybody there. They are.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to go to this. They won a playoff game in Pittsburgh last year. They were going to go to the Super Bowl this year. They were like a sneaky pick to go to the Super Bowl. They don't make the playoffs. And all of a sudden, wasn't Stefanski the coach of the year last year?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And now he's the coach of the bubble. I just looked it up. I'm doing something on Zim for tomorrow. And Minnesota has been pretty damn loyal to its coaches here. 9 in 61 years, right?
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
And one of them was Les Steckel for 5 minutes.
Yeah. But they've been kinder to Zim than anybody. Zim getting 8 years is pretty amazing considering NFL stand. The Browns since '99, since they came back, have had 10 and 3 interims, and two or three. I mean, they've gone through a coach every 2 years. So Stefanski's got to know with this owner, if he doesn't win next year, he's the wonderkin who's back being an offensive coordinator for somebody in 2023. So.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I'd take a shot, but
Baker.
Now there might be better deals out there, but I don't think so.
There's a handful. I mean, there's going to be some interesting quarterback movement, right? Russell Wilson might be on the move. Derek Carr. So the Broncos need a quarterback. The Steelers need a quarterback. The Browns need a new quarterback. There's probably other teams.
Why would Las Vegas want to get rid of Derek Carr?
Well, it might be more the other way around. So he has 1 year left on his contract. They're going to go through a coaching change again here, and so it's not a guarantee that he's gone, but because of his contract situation and just like the fact that they don't have a coach, there's talk that he's like 30 years old now. Is this a time for him to move on?
For Cleveland in getting Cousins would be the ransom to get him would not be nearly as high as for Wilson or Derek Carr, especially Wilson, obviously, but also Derek Carr. But you think Russell wants out of Seattle with his superstar wife and his lifestyle to go to Cleveland?
No,
I don't buy it. If Russell wants to do what Stafford did, he wants to go some glamour franchise someplace.
Well, and that's the other thing too, like with the Raiders. So Russell Wilson put out that list, or his agent like floated a list to sources a year ago of like, hey, listen, if you were to trade my client, hypothetically, here's a list of 4 teams, and the Raiders were on that list.
Yes.
It was like Chicago, Dallas, Raiders, and I think New Orleans.
I don't think he wants to go to Seattle and freeze to death either. Do you?
To where?
To Chicago, and now they got Fields. Although I see Fields has got COVID, so
he ain't playing Sunday, huh?
He's not. Who's healthy among those?
Is Dalton
Foles gonna play?
It might be Foles.
Oh man,
is Dalton hurt again?
Dude, how if Foles sticks it to Mike Zimmer's Vikings career a second time?
It's one thing. I'm writing a Zim thing tomorrow. We don't give enough attention to that effort in Philadelphia. This was the moment.
Yes.
This was the moment. This is worse than 41 Donut.
Yes.
This was a better team. This was a better team than that 41 Donut team was only like 10-6. It was just that
that's correct.
It was the NFC was not good.
Right.
That year.
You were facing a backup quarterback.
Yes.
Oh, your defense was atrocious.
And you just received the greatest momentum boost in the history of competitive athletics. This was Kirby Puckett hitting the home run in Game 6.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
You go in there, you march down the field, score a touchdown, and puke for 55 minutes. It's unbelievable.
Zim got his lunch handed to him coaching wise, which I've always maintained was actually what Peterson did was he took what Peyton had done. The Saints, I still contend the great untalked about turning point in Zim's coaching tenure as far as his defensive philosophy is halftime of that Saints game. The Vikings were up at halftime. They looked great. And Peyton, who's really good, came out and the Saints took it to the Vikings for most of that half. And after that, everything for an extended period of time changed.
Yeah, that's and here's what's interesting. Nobody ever got out-coached worse than Zim did by Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson got fired. Doug Peterson lasted 5 years in Philly. Zim's lasted 8, including Doug Peterson lasted four seasons after he beat Zim in that game, and Zim lasted 4 seasons. Zim lasted 4 seasons after that game, right? Peterson got fired. Peterson got fired
After
3
last
seasons
season.
after, at the end of the 2020 season, right?
Yeah.
In
Yes.
early 2021. So, yeah, that's a game we should appreciate more when we're talking Viking moments of utter humiliation. That
Yeah.
is one of them.
No, and there's been 2 moments in the last, 12 or 13 years where, it's not like there's a 3-year window. Maybe you think that there is, but the moment is sitting in front of you and you just drop the ball. 2009 NFC Championship game. That was it. It wasn't the beginning of a 3-year window where, we'll just come back again. And I think people thought that, well, okay, that was a tough loss, 2017, but look at this team and look at the guys in their prime. But that's not how football works. You don't just get to run it. We'll just run it back and be great for 5 years.
Yeah, and you also had a 40-year-old quarterback who you thought was going to be this good again, right? And I was never persuaded that Favre didn't want to come back as much as the whole narrative became. But maybe it was true. Maybe it was true that he was reluctant to come back that year, because it would have been a hell of a way to go out. I mean, not with the interception that cost them the game in New Orleans, but the season he had was phenomenal, and he probably wishes that was the last one on his resume now. But who leaves when they should? Current example,
My clients would. My clients, I would tell them, you're never playing for the Steelers again.
Yes.
No 2021, Ben. Look at your arm.
That was
get fat.
That was a ricey joke I just did that you guys missed. Me saying who leaves when they should.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it there.
We call that self-deprecation.
There it is. Yes. Keep signing those extensions at the Star Tribune.
Oh,
That's right.
All right. Well, we're gonna.
Hey, how about I didn't see. I haven't seen a replay, and I didn't see a lot of the game last night. How cheap was the shot on Kaprizov?
Bad.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
Pretty good run.
Yeah, and the puck wasn't like in Kaprizov's skates. The guy could have just stopped himself and taken the puck.
We going to give him a 3-gamer or not?
No, I bet he gets a game or two, but I mean, I don't care about that. I care about the hit. I mean, the hit was just stupid.
What do we what's it look like? Shoulder or something?
It looks like a shoulder and possibly a head. Like he was twisted oddly, so it was hard to tell.
Pretty good story though. Boldy going back and getting the winner. My guy Micheletti was down last week doing Iowa Wild analyst, and he says those two guys are good. Rossi and Boldy. He says they're really good. Those kids. So anyway, maybe the funk will be over with the influx of these two guys.
A lot of guys hurt though now. There's a lot of guys out.
Yeah, hockey, they're a bunch of softies. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
It was the ambiguous upper body injuries.
Yeah.
Come on, get back out there. All right, Pat. We'll see. We'll see you on Black Monday.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right. Goodbye.
All right. That's Rapping with Royce. Presented by Federated today. Federated is here to help business owners with risk management. They're like an offensive line for your business. If you're interested in just a better night's sleep as a business owner, knowing that your assets are protected, Federated Insurance and federatedinsurance.com. Remember, at Federated, it's our business to protect yours. All right, guys,